Welcome back everyone, I'm KPlays Games and it's time for us to start another new human colony on the red planet in surviving Mars. So let's click new game and start a new game. Mission sponsor, this is who you're working for, and they all have different abilities and different unique buildings and unique vehicles. We've done 2 playthroughs on this channel before. The first one was Blue Sun, the second one was Brazil. Let's pick something else. We'll use a random number generator to tell me which people we're going to be. There are 13 in total, so we'll say give me minimum 1, maximum 13. Number 7, and number 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, SpaceY. There we go, we'll select them. Commander, this is basically you are the commander. Commanders also have different rules and bonus texts which are unlocked at the start of the game, and they can give you different options during various story beats. There are 12 commanders, so let's pick one of them at random. I believe the first playthrough we were a doctor and then we were a psychologist, so let's do something different. Again, we'll go minimum 1, maximum 12, number 6. Number 6, let's have a look. Commander number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's doctor. We've been a doctor, so we'll take the next one. Psychologist. We've been a psychologist. Let's be a politician. All funding gains increased by 20%. Nice. The colony logo doesn't really matter. This is just what's plastered on the side of all your buildings. Mysteries. Now, this is like the sci-fi adventure part. I usually pick random, but the more playthroughs we do on this channel, the more likely it is that we'll end up getting the same one again. And I don't really like that. And I also don't really like picking one because I prefer not knowing which one I'm doing. But I think we're going to have to pick one. There are 12 of these. So again, we'll go back to the random number generator. Here he is. We'll say between 1 and 12. Give me another new number. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Philosopher Stone. Okay, rival colonies are other people's colonies on Mars. I'm going to turn them all off. A, because you can trade with them, and trading removes all kind of challenge from the game. It makes it far too easy. And B, because they'll be racing you to milestones, and I don't want that. I want all the milestones to myself. So we're not having any rivals. Game rules are various things which either make the game much easier, or much, much harder, or are just a little bit weird. We will not be doing any of these. So, there we are. This is how we're setting up our game. Let's just click next. I'm not going to bother reading all this stuff. We'll discuss it as we go. This is our rocket. This is the loadout the game has pre-selected that it wants us to take to Mars. You can, of course, change this as much as you want. Our rockets only have 40,000 capacity. We have 4.5 billion funding, so that's nice. And the game has pre-selected 4 drones, 1 RC Transport. RC Transport is a flatbed truck which you can drive across the whole map and pick up resources and deliver them wherever you want. 10 polymers, 10 machine parts, 10 electronics. These are advanced things you usually have to make in factories, but we'll start the game with some. 2 orbital probes for uncovering the map, and 3 prefab buildings. We'll click prefabs to expand it. We're being given 2 drone hubs and a Stirling generator. Drone hubs give commands to drones. Drones are the automated vehicles that do all the building. And Stirling generator provides a little bit of power. Okay. Let's click next. And select a landing spot. And this is Mars. These pings here with the rockets on them are ones that have been pre-selected by your sponsor. These tend to have a high amount of resources and very few threats. But you don't have to do that. If you just click, you'll notice that as we move the mouse around, every single pixel on Mars is its own map with its own amount of threats and its own amount of resources. So let's just click random. Oh, okay. We're going down here. Apparently we've got a decent amount of metals, barely any concrete, a crap ton of water, moderate dust devils and meteors, and not very many dust storms and cold waves. Okay, let's go for that.
Welcome to Mars.
And here we go. We are in orbit around Mars. Lots of information here. This is just your notifications thing. We'll just get rid of all these. I'll take you through these. This is the playing area. It is 10 squares wide, 10 squares deep, 100 squares in total. You do not know what is in these squares until you've scanned them. To scan them, you just left click on it and then wait for it to finish scanning. And when it's scanned, it will tell you what is inside it. you begin the game with one square already scanned, and this is the one we have. And this has 346 concrete. Now this grade, average, tells you how fast you get to these 346. So this is not bad, average. This ping here, if we build a dome within range of this, every house within it will get a comfort boost of 10. And this is some metals just lying out on the ground. When we zoom back out, we will now see it is populated with this icon saying 47 metals. This is one of the mods I have. It's literally just quality of life. When you mouse over the square, you indeed see there are 5 deposits of surface metals with a total of 47. The mod simply just displays that, so you can tell at a glance from this zoomed out view what is in each square. So I quite like that. Now, these black trails indicates a dust devil spawner. Dust devils are the devil. They will spawn, they're fairly large, and they will roam around. They are not confined to the limits of the black squiggles. They will go all the way around this area and coat everything with dust and break things and generally cause mayhem. So maybe we don't want to start here. We do have these orbital probes, which instead of waiting for the thing to scan, will instantly uncover one square. So I'm going to mouse over the squares, and as you will see, they will say this sector has a high chance to contain concrete and metals. It does not mean it will contain concrete and metals, it just thinks there is a high chance of it being concrete and metals. What I would quite like to find is something that says rare metals. Because we're going to have to buy things with money at the start of the game. There's a rare metal. I'm just going to click on anything that says rare metals. The game is paused, so we're not actually scanning at the moment. This is just marking the squares I may be interested in. The only way to get advanced materials for us at the start of the game is to buy them with money. And the way to get money is to extract rare metals and sell them back on Earth for quite a lot of money. Then we can buy the things we need. So far, I found one square that says rare metals. Oh dear. Okay. Just the one square then. Okay, let's have a look. We'll use one of our probes. And indeed, oh goodness sake. This swirly whirly gumdrop thing is indeed another Dust Devil spawner, and it's right on top of the underground rare metals thing. That's not great. We want to start the game with access to concrete. I mean, is there even space to build a dome up here? There is water here as well though, so that's quite good. That's not great. That's really not great. Let's scan this sector. This one down here. Bam! Metals and concrete. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to be starting here. We could, of course, just scan the entire map, run the game on maximum speed, never land the rocket, and wait until the entire map is scanned. You can do this. You will go AFK for about 3 hours because the map scans very slowly. But you can do this. I'm not gonna, because that's stupid. I think we're going to take the plunge and try and build our colony here in the middle of a Dust Devil spawner. Because there are also another ping which is interesting. If we build a dome within range of this, all the research buildings inside the dome get a boost of 10% production, which is quite nice. These yellow pings we need to scan with a remote control RC Explorer. This research one gives us instant research. This key one unlocks research. We'll speak about research in a moment. This is an underground metals thing. We need to build a dome here and get humans to work in a factory to dig these up. But as you can probably tell, there are hundreds and hundreds of units of metals just lying on the surface at the start of the game, so we will not maybe ever have to use that. But it is there for our use should we need it. Something else to check at the start of the game is this folder, this mission profile. This is what your mission sponsor would like you to do. And it's always good to check if any of these are timed. It doesn't look like any of these are. Right. It wants us to generate 100 power, and I believe that's concurrent, not like 1 power per day over 100 days. It wants us to generate 100 power. When we do that, we will get an atomic accumulator prefab. That's a large battery that stores a huge amount of power. That's quite nice. Refuel a rocket on the same day it lands on Mars, and we'll get 15 drones. That's quite nice. Research 8 engineering tech tree technologies, and we'll get 20 workaholic engineer applicants. That's quite nice. They'll be good people to work in our factories. Analyze 7 planetary anomalies. We'll get 2 billion cash. Nice. Have 3 biorobotics workshops. We'll get 10,000 instant research. Not bad. And these are the special rules that we rolled. Our special vehicle is a Dragon rocket. Has a smaller cargo capacity but is faster and requires less fuel. Okay, so I think refueling a rocket the same slot that lands should be quite easy. Solar array. A large cluster of solar panels that have lower maintenance costs but are vulnerable to dust storms. Drone hubs start with additional drones when you place them. And 50% cheaper advanced resources. Oh good, so that's things like polymers, machine parts and electronics. Jolly good. And our commander's a politician. All funding gains increase by 20%. That includes rare metals export, so that's great. Now we begin the game with the Martian patents tech uncovered, which is a tech you can do multiple times and grants money each time you complete it. Speaking of techs and training, let's have a look at the flask, which is the research tree. Here are the 7 research trees. Terraforming, biotech, engineering, robotics, physics and social are the same for every playthrough. The breakthrough one is empty, and this is different for every playthrough and every map. Breakthroughs have to be uncovered through story beats or scanning planetary or map anomalies. Some breakthroughs are game-breakingly good, some of them are a little bit crap, some of them are just alright, so they're good. Now the way that technologies work is that they're randomised but in groups of 5, so the top 5 are always in these top 5 positions, but the order is randomised. So sometimes systematic training will be in slot 5, sometimes it will be in slot 3 or 4 or 2. For us, it's generated in slot 1. This ensures that all the big techs down here are at the bottom of the tech tree. To progress down the tech tree, you train the thing above it, which will uncover the next one, or you can do these unlock pings, which will allow you to jump ahead. So this might unlock 3 or 4 technologies here, so we can abandon that one and do this one. There are 3 or 4 techs I like doing right at the start of the game. One of them is autonomous sensors, and I have not had to go looking for it, because for us it spawned as number 1. The next one I want is in the robotics tree, but it is not this. But to uncover the one I want, we're going to have to do that to uncover that. Another one I want is in social, and another one I want is in biotech. So we're going to have to progress down these trees. Now the things I'm looking for are in the top 5. If we're lucky, they'll all be in rank 2. If we're unlucky, they'll all be in slot 5, and it'll take us quite some time to get to them. Autonomous sensors is a really good one to start the game with. Sensor towers no longer require power or maintenance. Sensor towers dramatically speed up the scanning speed of sectors, but they're proximity based. So if we place one here, then this square will get 400% scanning, even though it's been scanned. These will get 300, then 200, then 100, and then like 60, and then 10. So what I like to do every game is to cover the map in a network of like 9 or 10 sensor towers to cover the whole map, so the entire map gets scanned really quickly. And having extra sensor towers gives you advanced warning of disasters incoming. So that's something else we should probably look at. Something else we're going to look at right now is milestones. This is the same for every single playthrough, they're all the same. You do the activity on the right and you get paid instantly the amount of research on the left. So, scan an anomaly, get 250 research, launch a rocket, 250, find water, 250, construct a dome, 500. So these can be really good. All these ones up here are early game, all these ones down here are really late game. So if you're ever in need of having to absolutely, positively get some research done right now, almost have a look at the milestones and see if there's anything you can expedite. What we're going to expedite right now is the landing of our first rocket. It has an RC transport, 4 drones, 2 drone hubs, a Stirling generator, and 10 of each of the advanced resources on board. This blue ring is the range at which this thing can give commands to its drones, because it does function as a mobile drone commander. So I think that looks pretty good. So I think it's gonna cover the water ping here. It looks like it should do. And it's definitely got both of the concrete and the rare metals ping. So we're just going to plop it there. The inner white ring is the range at which it will produce dust when it lifts off and lands, and that will damage the buildings, so don't build anything too close to where the rocket's landing. Now, before this rocket lands, I want to have a look at this resupply thing. See if we have any more rockets. Oh my god, we have 5 rockets. So we have another 4 available to us. Okay, let's cram these things full of goodies and get them on the way. 5 rockets is huge. It's a massive amount of rockets. Okay, we have an RC transport. So let's have a look at a cargo rocket. I want an RC Commander. It's a mobile drone hub. These things are wonderful. They can get you out of a fix and they can build things remotely across the map. They're wonderful. The Explorer is the thing we need to have to scan the yellow dots on the map. Having one of these. We have an RC transport on board already. RC Safari is to do with the tourism industry. I don't care about that, so we're not going to bring that. Prefabricated buildings. Things I always like to have at the start of the game is a small electronics factory, a small machine parts factory, and a polymer factory. Unfortunately, there is no small version of the polymer factory, so we're forced into having a big one. We're not going to buy any Stirling generators for power because they cost 400 million each, and they're a rookie trap. And I think we'll just squeeze as many electronics on board this thing as we can. Looks like we can't fit anything else on. We do have 1,000 kilograms left, so we'll bring 1 drone with this rocket. Right, let's get that one on the go. Here it comes. Although we have water here, it's 12,000 water. This will run out eventually, and then you'll have to transition over to things like moisture evaporators. And moisture evaporators condense moisture from the atmosphere of Mars, turn it into water, and they never run out, unlike the underground water things, because this will eventually run out. And you will burn through 12,000 water a lot faster than you think you will. And if you have not planned ahead and got lots of moisture evaporators, then you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. So I think our second cargo rocket is going to have... Do we have a fuel refinery on our first rocket? Let's have a look. No, we don't. We just got drone hubs. Okay, so we have no way of refueling these things at the moment. So let's do a cargo rocket. Prefab building. Fuel refinery. Fuel refineries require water to use. And they require 1 water. And each moisture evaporator produces 1 water. So let's do 1 fuel refinery and 1 moisture evaporator to keep that running. And then I think I'm going to do like as many moisture evaporators as will fit on that rocket. So that'll give us a total of 7 water. That will keep us going for quite some time. They are quite expensive at 200 million, but the tech to build them yourself is way down the tech tree. So top tip, buy moisture vaps. Let's launch that rocket. And I think we'll leave the other 2 rockets at home. Because I think we're going to have enough stuff. No, we're going to bring 1 more rocket. We'll leave 1 rocket on Earth. And this final rocket is just going to bring as many advanced resources as it can fit. Like that many. That is a lot of advanced resources for the start of a game. Right, we've got research lined up. We've got rockets picked on the way. We've picked a landing site, so let's unpause and actually play the game. Here comes our rocket. There are 3 game speeds. Normal speed, 3 times speed and 5 times speed. I have a mod which has modded these, so the 3 times is actually 5 times and the 5 times is actually 10 times. So you'll be zipping along at a great rate. And one thing I love about this game is that you can zoom all the way in. You can get a right good view of stuff. This is a little flatbed. Here he is, Mr. Happy. And there's our little drones. Now, they're not doing anything at the moment. Usually your drones automatically assign themselves to whatever task is needing done. There are no tasks needing done at the minute. I mean, there is 116 metals to get picked up, but they're not picking them up because we have not placed a storage pad for them. We'll just move this guy out of the way. And there's some resources in the rocket which are not being unloaded because there's no storage for them. So click on the build menu or right click on the map. Right click's usually what I use. Go to storages universal depot stores 30 units of each type of thing. So place that down, unpause again, and speed it up a bit, and the drones will start unloading everything. Now these drones will range out and pick up all these metals as well, so there's quite a few hundred metals, so we're going to need... You can either build lots of universal depots, or you can build dedicated depots. Dedicated are better, because these hold 180 of a single resource, so we'll just build, say, 5 metals things. What are we going to do with the flatbed truck? Well, the drones are not going to be able to pick up these metals because it's outside the drone control range of the rocket. So left click the flatbed, click this create transport route, tell them to come down here, and within this blue area tell them to load resources, pick which resource you want, we'll just say metals, and then left click to tell him where you want him to drop them off. There. So he'll merrily come down here, he'll grab all these, the drones will grab all these, and we'll have lots of metals. The next thing we're going to need is concrete. Let's have a look. Okay, there is 947 concrete here of a low grade. This one here is also low grade, so I think we'll go for this one first. So to extract that, right click, go to the production tab of the build menu, find a concrete extractor. This costs 5 metals and 2 machine parts to be built. It consumes 5 power to run, and it requires 1 machine part of maintenance, and the base production is 20 concrete. The base production is how much of that resource this thing will produce per day based on an average yield, but as we know our yield is low, so it's going to be something around 14 or 20. It doesn't have to be on the ping, it just has to be close enough to the ping till it turns white. There we go. Now this thing has a dust ring around it, because this thing's going to kick up dust when it's mining the concrete, and anything within that dust range will be taking damage, so we don't want to do that. And the way that buildings get built is that they have these little pads here, and drones will bring things and stack them on the pads, and when the pad is full, then a drone will build the building. Prefabricated buildings are built in a different way, so let's pause the game, right click the build menu. Anything you have prefab will have an indicator, like a number on it. So we have one prefabricated drone hub. Let's put this here. We don't want to build this inside the red ring of the rocket or the factory, because that will throw up dust and damage the building, so we'll just place it here. And notice this has no pad and it's dark blue, because it's a prefab building. All it needs is a drone to build it. And then this thing's going to need power. I believe we have a Stirling generator that produces 10 power. That's nice. So we'll just put this here touching this building, because then that will then transfer power. If buildings are touching, then they transfer power between each other. That same track is playing over and over again, so let's play something else. Oh yeah, the soundtrack of this game is wonderful. All the radio stations are great, so then feel free to listen to them all you want. They're all copyright free as well, which is great. When buildings are touching each other, they link together and share power. This one is way too far away for that, so we're going to have to draw a power cable over here. Ideally, you keep your power cables nice and short, because the longer they are... There we go. This one, as we see, a little power cable has linked them together. This is now running, it's drawing 3 power, this is producing 10. The longer your power cables are, the more susceptible they are to power line breaks. Now, you can put this anywhere on a building. There are no... The power cable must go here hookup points, so just keep it as short as we can, that'll do. So this is sucking up 3 power, that's going to be sucking up 5, that's producing 10. One other thing we need to build is a sensor tower. This requires 2 power, which is fine, because that produces 10. This eats 5, that eats 3, that eats 2, so that'll be everything balanced out. And the sensor tower will speed up the scanning speed of everything. Okay, what we have here is permafrost. This is cold terrain. Anything we build here will need double power to operate. So let's not build up that way for as long as we possibly can. That means I'm glad I brought moisture evaporators, because it looks like we'd have to be building the moisture, the water thing here. Right, we've done our first milestone because we found water. that was delayed by a couple of days by a mod I have, which delays all of your milestones by a couple of days. It's really quite good. That's just so to give you time to actually get your training queue done. Otherwise, it would automatically assign it to the first thing working from top left to right. So I would have assigned it to something I didn't want. So it's good. It's assigned it to this. And our other 3 rockets are here. Man, these things are fast. Let's see. This thing's working. Okay, it's producing 16 per saw. Well, that's not too bad. We could land our rockets right now, and I think we probably should. I do not want them to create dust anywhere. I don't want to land them in unexplored zones, so we'll just kind of land them all here. Here they come, bringing us all the stuff. Here's our flatbed, delivering his metals, and he's intelligent enough to find the nearest pad for them. So there we go. And there we are.
Scan.
We now have 18 hours warning of incoming disasters because we have 1 sensor tower. The more sensor towers you have, the more things you'll find. The more sensor towers you have, the more early warning you get. This does top out at 6 sensor towers, and you get like 3 sols, 6 hours warning, which is quite a lot. But we're going to have 9 sensor towers. As I said, they're proximity based. You'll notice this sensor tower boost is like 205, 330, because the sensor tower isn't really centered, it's kind of here. So I want to get 9 across the whole map. There's no point building sensor towers near the cliff, because the cliff's not going to have many resources in it, because resources don't spawn on cliffs. So we've kind of got 1 here, so I think we'll do 1 here. Our sensor towers do require 2 power, so usually I'd have to go around and build little solar panels to power them. But because at the top we're doing the autonomous sensors thing, this removes their need for power or maintenance. Maintenance is something I haven't described yet. Every building has a maintenance bar. Here it is. It slowly fills up, or not all that slowly. This fills up, and when it fills up, it demands a certain number of resources which must be delivered to it by drones to maintain the building, otherwise it stops working. So we're going to be chewing through our machine parts to keep this thing running, and the drone hub is going to be demanding electronics. The Stirling generator would be demanding polymers, but it's closed because Stirlings have 2 modes. A closed mode, which is like this. When you open it, it doubles the power output, so it's now producing 20 power. But that then lets the dust get in, and it starts building up its maintenance thing. We don't need more power than that at the minute, so we'll keep it closed. And this is going to demand metals, but once we finish this research, it's not going to demand any metals anymore, because it will no longer need any maintenance. And for that reason, I'm not going to build any solar panels here, because by the time we build this, we're going to have finished that research, and they're not going to need any power. So this one's going to take care of these 3 squares. The one we've just built is kind of here. That will take care of all these. I kind of want to get another one down here, so we'll do that. Where is it? Sensor tower. Bip. And then come across a couple of squares, bang one in here. And the other one's going to be here, so we'll go up here. Another one here. And then we'll build some down here. One right there. Move up a couple of squares. One here. Move up a couple of squares. One here. And then we'll do one kind of here, I think. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, good. Jolly good. Hey, and I know we're going to finish this training very quickly because we have these research flasks. When we send our RC Explorer, right-click on an anomaly to scan it, this will instantly give us a fairly hefty amount of research. These ones on the planetary surface are between like 900 and 1200. Ones on the planetary view, which we'll get to later, can produce about 4000. So these are a wonderful way of doing it. That's how I know we're going to be getting right through that research very quickly. Hold shift and we'll queue up its scanning. In fact, no, I'm going to change the orders. I want it to scan that and then this unlock thing. Because that could maybe then uncover the ones I want. So maybe we won't train these ones. Maybe we can jump ahead to the ones I actually want. Transport optimization is not a bad one to have anyway, because it increases the maximum capacity of our flatbed and it speeds up how fast it harvests things, so that's not a bad one to have. Because if that ping is 1200, then it'll do all of that and then some of that, and that's fine by me. What is our RC commander going to do? He's just kind of hanging out with his 4 drones. He's not really doing anything at the moment. You will notice we're up on this plateau and there is no way to drive down the cliff. We're going to have to make ramps to get down here. So we're going to get our RC commander to build us some ramps. Do that, you go to the build menu, you go to landscaping and ramp. We'll change the size of it, we'll make it as small as we can. Left click where we want the ramp to start and drag. And you'll see it either says required waste rock, which means you need to bring waste rock to that project to build it up.
Research
or ideally,
complete.
you'll
Milestone
get something that says
achieved.
a little bit of excess waste rock. That looks pretty good. Right, so let's select the RC commander, tell him to come here. He will recall his drones inside himself, then he'll drive down there and he'll do that landscaping project. Now, landscaping projects like this used to take a very, very long time. The game's been rebalanced several times and now they take like 5 seconds, so they're just a complete nothing. Now, I would like to have more than one route up and down this, because if we need to get up here in a hurry for some reason, I don't want to have to drive all the way down here, down this ramp, and then all the way up the map. So I think we'll do another ramp here. Clicky, draggy, excess waste rock, absolute tons, but waste rock is a viable commodity. We'll use it for things. So he's got things to do. The flatbed is still picking stuff up, that's good. We've done more milestones. We've completed both of the trainings. Okay. So we've uncovered that and uncovered that, and we're kind of doing systematic training. It's not the worst thing to have. We probably will do almost all of the researches during this playthrough, so that'll be good. I hope this thing unlocks some of the things I want. Let's see. What does it unlock? Come on, work faster.
Anomaly analyzed.
Right, it has unlocked this. This is one of the ones I wanted. Generate 100 research personnel for each RC Explorer you have. Multiple vehicles results in a collaboration loss. Now you notice when I move systematic training to the further down the queue, it remembers how much you've done and it retains it. So you can just do that. You can just, if you find something you need to do right now, just stick it at the top and the things you've started will just retain their progress. It's great. We still need to come down this tree to get to the farm, which is something you want, and this one's a good one to have anyway. It improves your moisture evaporators by 50% each, so that's never a bad thing to have. But getting your extra research at the start of the game is everything. And there's another one in social which also gives you extra research per day, so that's why I'm coming down this tree as well. And we have this story beat. These show up from time to time. Sometimes are good, sometimes are bad. A new deep space telescope will be launched to scan the cosmos from a point even further out than Mars. The company behind the telescope, Lambda Industries, has partnered with our sponsor to share the financial burden of the deep space launch. Our sponsor, never one to waste an opportunity to help their most ambitious project, says the splitting of the launch bill will basically pay for a single supply pod they can fill with cargo of their choosing. Alright, they can give us 10 orbital probes to help us scan lots of sectors, or they can give us 15 machine parts and 15 electronics, or another flatbed. I will be taking the electronics and machine parts, please, thank you very much. And instantly we get the supply pod. And again, this will cause dust when it lands, but we don't have anything in the colony yet, so we don't care about dust. Here it comes, and the supply pod cannot be refueled or relaunched, so we'll just salvage it and we'll get 5 metals from it as well. Hurrah! Right, RC Explorer, please come and do this research, which will hopefully finish that. That will be really nice. In fact, when you're done that, I'll hold shift, I'll just tell it to do the next one. We've been really lucky with these research flask pings. These are really nice ones to get. Okay, the first ramp has been built. Mr. Commander, if you would be so kind, come up here and build a second ramp. There is my nemesis. This is a dust devil. These swirly whirly little bastards swirl around, move in random and erratic ways and cover everything with dust. If they hit your buildings, they will almost instantly fill the maintenance bar. So, building a colony right next to a dust devil spawner, maybe not my best idea, but we've done it now, so you know, we'll be fine. There are ways you can cheese these things though. Unfortunately, if we build dumping sites, they can't cross them, so we can build a wall of dumping sites up here and here. And as I said, this just indicates where they may spawn. They could spawn in the colony, so yeah, they can spawn at quite a range. So we may cheese it. If they become a problem up here, then we may cheese them. If not, then we'll be fine. Okay, the drones are not picking up these because this pad is full. So let's get an extra pad for each of these things. So we'll do a polymers pad, and we'll do a machine parts pad and an electronics pad. And we really should put down balls, put that in the wrong place. We really should put down some concrete pads, considering this thing's going to be producing nearly 1,000 concrete. Each pad does 180, so we'll just put down like, what, 5 pads just now. That'll hold about 1,000, that'll be fine. And this guy's producing waste rock at the minute. He's just dumping it on the surface because we haven't actually made a dumping site. So we'll put a dumping site here. A, to store this guy's waste rock, and B, hopefully to despawn one of the dust devils. A little bit cheesy, but that's what we're doing. Right, let's speed up to 10 times. Yay! That did indeed do the research. So we're now doing 300 a day. Excellent. So we'll keep coming down the trees we want to come down. Probably do physics as well. The plan is to find the social one that gives us 100 extra research. Find the farm and the biotech one. I've already found this one. And then I'm going to come hurtling down the physics tree. I do this on every playthrough because there's one excellent thing about 3/4 of the way down the physics tree, which is absolutely amazing and a little bit overpowered, and I love it. So we're going for it. These are random meteors just landing. And these meteors can sometimes leave behind some metals.
Sector
or
scan.
some polymers, like this one did. There we go. Or they can also,
Research
very rarely,
complete.
leave behind these research flasks. There we go. We've completed another research. Has it uncovered the one we want? Yes, it has. Control left click, go to the top. Alright, good start. Very good start. Like, this guy's building a ramp. As soon as he's finished with that ramp, what we're going to do, we're going to grab our flatbed and we're going to load it up with some metals and some electronics, like 10 of each. And the flatbed and the remote commander are going to go around all over the map and build my sensor tower network so we can scan everything really quick and uncover more things for the explorer to scan. I'm going to bring the explorer back home just in case he gets hit by something.
Sector
and
scanned.
the transport, we'll bring that back as well. And there's another vista down here. Right, ramp has been made. Let's go. Okay, flatbed, select him. Right click this pad, hold control, left click twice to tell it to pick up 2 lots of 5 electronics. Go. And then right click this pad, hold control, tell it to pick up 10 metals. Excellent. And then you'll just drive to where we want to build the sensor towers, and these 2 guys are going to travel across the map and build a huge network of sensors. Now, none of these rockets are being refueled at the minute, so we're going to have to sort that. We're going to have to build ourselves a fuel refinery. Right click, production, fuel refinery, we have a prefab. Now we're going to need more power to run this thing because it's saying we don't have enough power. If we hook it up to this power network, we're not going to have enough power to run it. So we're going to have to do something about that. And something we're going to do about that is in the power tree. We can build solar panels. These cost 3 metals to make, 1 metals maintenance, so we know we've got hundreds of units of metals all over the map. Well, we will when we uncover them. Remember, we had like 116 and 40 here. They've been gathered up. There's another 47 here. As we uncover the map, we will be finding lots more metals. So they're quite cheap and easy to maintain. We've already got 138 metals stored in pads on the colony. So that is good. So we don't really care about solar panels, but because we are SpaceY, we have this, the massive solar array. This produces 40 power. And it costs 40 metals. So this costs 3, produces 5, this costs 40, produces 40. But it does have a maintenance need of 3. Each one of these has a maintenance of 1. So to get 40 power, we would build 8 of these. So that would be a total of 8 maintenance. This is only 3 maintenance. This is much cheaper. So let's plan out where we're going to build all this stuff. First thing we need to do is get the fuel refinery. We'll just put this here. It is touching the power cable, so it will draw power from it. It's outside the dust range of everything, so that's good. But this is going to need water, and we do have in life support 7 moisture evaporators. Just on the other side of the cable, but touching the cable, we're going to put a moisture evaporator. And we're going to have to link these together with pipes to deliver the water. So again, right click, life support, pipes, draw 1 pipe like that. Again, similar with the power cables, you want to keep your pipe runs as short as possible, because the longer they are, the more susceptible they are to leaks. And when things start leaking, it's just bad times. Now remember, these things are going to be demanding quite a lot of power, so we're going to have to build this big solar array somewhere, which is not within the dust range of anything. Which kind of means right there. We can't build it here because the terrain's uneven. I don't really want to flatten that terrain. Oh, we'll flatten that. Right click, landscaping, flatten, make it very small. We'll just... What you do, you start on the level that you want to level the things to, and then you just click and drag around and flatten the area. It's going to produce 1.6 excess waste rock, that's fine. Right, things are going to start moaning about power. So I was going to say for now we'll open the Stirling generator, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to instantly build the large solar array in a newly flattened terrain. Right there. Right, that's 40
Sector
power.
Scanned.
And the drones will build it. If we want to get it built straight away, because everything is on priority 2, which means that the drones are automatically removing the concrete from this little production pad and storing it here, and they're automatically taking stuff from the waste materials pad and storing it here, and they're automatically going to be taking fuel from this and sticking it in the rocket. But if we want something to be built straight away, stick it on priority 3, so the drones will ignore everything else until they've done this. Because we need that thing's power.
Resources are low.
But of course, being solar panels, these only operate during the day. So at night, we're going to have to find an alternate source of power. And one of the best ways of doing that is to simply store the excess power in a power accumulator. But if we look at our mission profile, if we generate 100 power concurrently, we will get 1 atomic accumulator prefab. Atomic accumulators store much more power than normal power accumulators. And as you will see, atomic accumulator doesn't even appear on the list because it's locked behind a tech unlock, and it's like way down here somewhere. So that would be a really good thing to have. This produces 40 during the day. If we build another one of these, that will be 80, and then if we open the Stirling generator, that will be 100. And then we can close the Stirling generator immediately, because by then we'll have been given the reward, and then we'll put the atomic accumulator down and we'll fill it up with lots of power. So let's do that. We've got lots of metals, so let's do another solar array. Okay, I don't want to flatten this bit of... Or do I? I don't want to demolish this little ramp. I know there's one up here, but I don't want to demolish that ramp by accident, so we will just squeeze this in here like that. It's not quite touching the buildings, so we'll make one little dot of power cable. Right guys, get that done. Now power cables and pipes are automatically assigned at priority 3. Okay, sun's up, power's restored. And as soon as this happens, we're going to get power 90. Power 90. So if we open the Stirling generator, we should get a notification. There we go. Goal complete. Reward 1 atomic accumulator prefab. And now we can find it here. It's quite large because it stores a lot of power. We'll just stick it here. Why not? No, there. That looks good. We'll just use R and T to rotate things. We'll just stick it there. Lovely. Because it's a prefab, it'll get built really quick. Lovely jubbly. And then we can close the Stirling generator. So this thing holds 2,000 power and its maximum output is 100. So this one battery can run everything at night. It will store the excess power. We're producing 90, we're only using 18. So the extra 72 power is getting thrown straight into this guy. I mean, he can only charge at 50 maximum. So he's charging up as fast as he can possibly charge up. And then at night, he'll then donate his stored power to keep everything running, which is great. Which means our rockets are all getting filled up. They've all got drones assigned to them. I'd rather that the drone hub had all the drones. So what we'll do, you can click this pack drone and it turns the drone into a prefab. This one has 4, so we'll just pack them all up. And then you left click on your drone hub and you unpack them. And now this has all 13 drones assigned to it. There we go, lovely. Have these guys built this sensor tower? Yes, of course they have. I've been yabbering on for it ages. Right, here we go. You go here, you go here. And let's start building this sensor tower network, because I want to start scanning stuff down here. Okay, nothing up here, but cold. Now through terraforming, we can melt this cold. If we can get the temperature of Mars up to 50%, this permafrost will melt. Not that it's a huge issue for us. It is the only patch of permafrost I can see on this map. Why are you not coming down here? Come down here, please. Thank you. Okay, so our little colony is looking quite good. What's the next thing we need to do? Refuel a locker on the same solid lands. That's okay. All you have to do then is produce lots of fuel and store it up on a fuel pad. In fact, that's something we should build.
Sector scanned.
But this fuel depot is going to go on the other side of this rocket, because fuel has a nasty habit of if it gets hit by anything, it explodes and destroys anything else near it. It won't destroy a rocket, that's why I put it back here. But if we had fuel on this pad and this pad gets hit, it will destroy everything on the pad and probably all the other pads around it. So I'm saying do not store fuel on this pad, but do store 30 of everything on this pad. When you place these, they start out at desired amount 3. I'd rather have like these things full. Every time I place a drone hub, I usually put a universal depot next to it, and I try to overlap the control range of drone hubs so that the drones can then daisy chain resources between these very full universal depots. It's just quite a good way of doing things. You'll see what that means at a later date. Right, that has been built, so let's come down here and do this one next. These sensor towers will be built very quickly. Oh ho! This is the start of our mystery. This is the science fiction adventure portion of the game. Usually this only begins when you have 100 humans, but this one just starts when you randomly find these crystals.
When we tried to scan one of the sectors, our sensors went blind. Upon closer inspection, we discovered that the source of the interference was a mysterious crystalline entity. It's huge. How could we have missed it?
The dark crystal is just standing there, refracting the light in a peculiar way. Intense energy vortices around the entity cause vibrations in the atmosphere and give birth to electrostatic dust devils. Oh, joy. So these things are going to spawn the hyper steroid roid rage version of dust devils. Oh, joy. It's really close to the colony. Haha, that's going to be fun. Some of our scientists proposed that the crystals have energy manipulating properties and so were able to obfuscate their presence in the area despite their proportions. Of course, all of this is just hypothesis. We need more research to reach a conclusion. In fact, alien crystals have been revealed. This sector cannot be scanned. That's annoying. And the crystalline entity properties tech has become available. Okay. So we will find that in Breakthrough. Anything to do with stories will be in Breakthrough. It's not actually a breakthrough, it's just a story. So we'll add that to the bottom of the queue. And we'll hope that that will then let us scan this sector. So yeah, this mystery just starts very early in the game. It's only Sol 7. As I said, most of them only start when you get to 100 humans. And that's a good tip. Try to keep your colonists' numbers below 100 until you have a very advanced economy and huge stockpiles of everything. Because these mysteries can get out of hand very quickly. So top tip, don't get to 100 humans before you think you're ready to deal with any massive mystery. But for now, what we're going to deal with is the end of this episode. We've landed on Mars, we're producing fuel and concrete, we're producing tons of power, we're storing it up. Maybe next week we'll look at getting dirty human meat bags on Mars. And maybe try and get a dome up here and extract these underground metals to provide us money, because we've been burning through our money at a great rate of knots. So come back and see how we get on then, and until then, do look after yourself, and I'll talk to you again soon.